John Wick 2, one of the few sequel films that most people I know were actually excited for, just dropped into theaters snugly next to The Great Wall and Trolls. With magnanimous timing as well comes the John Wick Heist Pack, a companion piece to the new weapon pack released October of last year. 2 heists, 1 loud only, 1 stealth, a new sniper rifle, a new melee, and 4 new masks comprise the now familiar monthly allotment of new content. One question a lot of people seem to have is, why weren't these packs released together? It does seem like overkill just cut one bundle of content from the other and sold them separately. One reason might be that there is a scheduled lull of DLC to make sure that overkill aren't busting their humps right up to the final moment of support for the game. The other, more likely reason is that the content was released in pieces over time to provide more complete coverage for the film. John Wick 2 does seem like a slightly perfunctory sequel. It was probably better to poke up a reminder every few months. Hey guys, remember that John Wick 2 movie? It's coming out in a few months, better get tickets now. On my mind was a different question, however. The heists are in New York, so I get the Eagle and the Statue of Liberty themed masks. But what's with the sailor hats? Yeah, the other heist is on a boat, I guess. More like a party boat. So I guess these masks are for the sexy sailor party! Yeah, that sounds about right. A sneaky, sexy party in a big ol' bumpin' boat full of political propaganda. And it's stealth only! Yay! My favorite! Well, despite my better judgment, I gave the heist a run or two, and it's very well designed and novel given its setting, but I just cannot get past the stealth system. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it! Connor. Yes, he likes the stealth system. Maybe I can just give him a call up and he can explain this one to you guys. Cause I just can't do it anymore, man. It's too much. Connor, help me explain this. I just can't. I can't.
Let's take a brief look at the yacht heist. Yeah, because James is a bitch.
What?
I know stealth isn't exactly James' forte, as he's talked about in length before, and that's completely fine. Part of what makes Payday 2 so good is that there's still plenty of content for players who don't enjoy the sneaky approach, and conversely, content is being added to appease stealth-only players. So, for the yacht heist, the take is that Bob McKendrick is hosting a fundraising event on a swing.
Okay, I don't really care, so let's just friggin' fast forward.
Essentially, Bane directs the crew to a laptop deep within the beautifully detailed ship's interior, which has the locations of all the stowed cash. The money can be hidden in suitcases, aquariums, bookshelves, and so on. The only way to know exactly where to look is by understanding the information provided on the laptop. A color will be listed as well as 4 locations. So, for instance, if the color tag is green, the location is upper floor 2, and the object is bookshelf, you'll head up to the second upper floor, find a bookshelf marked with a green tag, and open it to find your dosh. The loot can be secured with a simple toss out of the window or over the side. Twitch is in a rib boat sailing around the exterior collecting both the cash and optional artifacts that can be secured for a payout boost. After all 8 bags of cash and any optional artifacts are safely overboard, you'll head to the security room to fetch a hard drive containing passwords to McKendrick's offshore accounts. Overheat the server casing, grab the drive, and get out. While a bit on the shorter side, the brilliant design this map provides cannot be overlooked. The decision for the heist to have no cameras was an interesting one, but is compensated for by an increased number of guards and civilians. Occasionally, the partygoers will stand blocking your way and never move. While you could tie them up and move them somewhere safe or just kill them and dispose of the corpses, due to the heist's symmetrical design, I find that you often don't have to. There's always 2 main paths to your objective and multiple staircases to and from most of the upper floors. More often than not, if you find your path to be obstructed, there'll be another option not far away. Fair warning, this heist cannot be ECM rushed. The final objectives in the server room will not function while an ECM is active, and the point of no return timer is too short to complete everything after the jammers have run out. Nevertheless, with an extravagant setting, creative mechanics, clever map design, and fantastic music, seriously, well done, Simon. I'm of the opinion that Yacht Heist is one of the best designed stealth heists in Payday 2. Back to you, James.
And thank you, Connor, for helping me get that out of the way, and I hope that I'm your favorite bitch. I hope you'll understand, I just don't like stealth, but this heist had some genuine care put into it, and maybe I'm not the best person to talk about it. The loud heist, on the other hand, I am all over, I guess. Here's the deal, people. Others have said this before, and maybe I'm beating a dead horse, but it's still true. Brooklyn 1010 is a pretty cool level on paper, but in practice, It's frustrating and samey. It's one of those dilapidated urban building heists I like so much. You're breaking into what looks like a former newspaper office or police station. There's a cool element of verticality in the first main room, which is carried through to a sprint across a rooftop to a second building, where you break out some weapons cases, bust into an elevator, and ride the cables down to the ground floor, and escape through the courtyard. All the while you're doing this, you are covering Charon, the old concierge of the Continental, rightfully named after the boatman of hell who guides souls to Hades. This time we've got the bona fide actor playing this cameo. And that's good too, because I've always liked Lance Reddick. He plays the hard ass with a heart of gold so damn well, and he's got the face to match. Perfect for Payday. Nice, strong jaw, very defined lines, piercing eyes, deep, majestic, concave cheeks, emphasizing high zygomatic arches. Lance is the coolest skeleton this side of a Hickey Freeman 2 buttons. So, you're going into this apartment block to save Charon from these gangsters, which is the unique element to the heist. It's one of the few where you have building-to-building combat going on, where you have to scan windows for snipers and kill them before they can do you or Charon damage. Actually, it's more like you're letting Charon take a number and wait in the order he was served while you deal with the absolute fuck ton of cops that pour into this building, in which, I might add, you're going to have zero cover. In other heists, the police have some semblance of sanity. We're gonna drop in through the windows and hold this point, boys, and then when we build up a foothold, we'll head out and sweep the building. Gives players a little bit of leeway. They can clear an area and maybe hold out a little longer. Not here, though. These guys are like, hey, if we've got 40 extra guys just sitting around not doing anything, thumbs up their asses, hell, send them in. When have you ever heard your local police chief say, hey, there were only 4 guys, so we said, fuck it, we'll send 300 uniformed officers into this tiny little building and hope for the best. If the first guys get dead, we'll send some more, write some letters to their families later. No big deal, right? Thanks to this absolute onslaught, there is zero cover. Just none. The cops come from literally every direction, above, below, every side, and there's a whole lot less real estate, so they're jam-packed, practically shoulder to shoulder, like they're riding a subway, the fucking red line pain train right up your ass. I would normally say, okay, fine, they boosted the number of cops in order to make it harder, better for experienced heisters, but it's one of those unsophisticated, let's just load up on as many spawns as the engine will handle and see how it goes, guys, kind of things. I remember playing around with the Doom WAD editor as a kid, and since I didn't really know how to make levels, I mostly just made giant rooms with as many cyber demons as I could fit into it, and just let it loose. That's what this feels like an unsophisticated clusterfuck. I don't say that to be mean, and generally if there were fewer spawns it would feel less packed and less like the player had zero options in terms of getting away from the horde. I think unironically and totally intentionally, the UMP from the last Wick pack is perfect for this level. And if you weren't so focused on blowing the crap out of the inside of this apartment building, the new compact 308 sniper rifle from this pack would function very well in this heist too, to pick off the snipers and enemies on the ground floor from range. What we're getting here is basically an M308 with a bigger magazine and less total ammo capacity, but it can shoot through shields. It's not a rifle that's going to perform brilliantly out of the box, however. You will have to invest in some skills to make it work, mostly because of the tankier enemies on Mayhem and above. It's very fast, has a large magazine, and a pretty high pickup rate. What it will lack is accuracy and damage. Specialized Killing Aced, Marksman Aced, and Steady Grip, along with the Contractor Silencer, should nip both those in the bud. You might want to grab Fully Loaded, Aggressive Reload, and High Value Target as well, to give yourself that extra kick at long range. You can also make it fairly concealable for a sniper rifle, making it a decent dodge crit weapon. Even without dodge, you can still get some crit, and with all those factors in mind, you can easily make this weapon Death Wish viable, and its unique playstyle makes it fun for most difficulties regardless. Rating it against other guns in similar classes, given its fairly high pickup rate, I think it's overall better than the M308, and as long as you can hit multiple headshots in a row, it has a higher potential DPS output than the R93 or the Nagant. I think it also straight up outclasses the Lebensauger and the Desert Fox, another DLC weapon, outclassing earlier DLC weapons. Shame, shame, shame. Overall, the Compact 308 is a great little DMR, probably what the M308 should have been from the beginning, and it's overall a good addition to the game. Can't say that about everything in the pack though. The hook melee exemplifies what is statistically wrong with essentially every melee in Payday 2. It's a 30 base, 90 charge, short-range melee with fairly long swing time, making the damage you're doing from swinging a rusty hook into people's faces negligible on overkill and above. None of the melee damages are at all different from each other in any weapon, and they haven't been changed since the first Gauge weapon pack. There's a whole video in here somewhere. My whole point is that there was effort put into this thing, like with most melees in the game. Cool modeling, in some cases unique animations, but they are all useless, and nobody is going to pull them out for a quick day at the Banch Trust and Loan, ever! Last up are the 2 new musical tracks in the DLC. Swedish pop and rock artist Carl Nuren guest produces the new track, Bullet Rain. It seems that, like with most of the tracks he does for Payday, Carl is trying more to emulate Simon Viklund than make something more unique to himself. On the other hand, most of his original tracks, that I could find at least, were closer to trance or chill house music, and this more relaxed style would be pretty foreign to Payday. It's not a bad track, but we've heard its like many times before, and it doesn't stand out that much from Viklund's regular work. White Collar Crime, Viklund's new track, is a long, smooth jazz number, perfect for a chill stealth heist. It wouldn't be strange to hear this track on a smooth jazz compilation CD or radio station. And now, on Smooth 87.7, White Collar Crime by Simon Viklund. This cat's all the way from Sweden, and he's gonna show us how to take it to the man with some old school jazz for a new school crowd. I like how he's kept within the style of the genre, even with the point of no return cue. It's a really cool experiment in form, and I like it. In fact, I would love to hear a loud heist with a jazz track, something more frenetic like what the Seatbelts did with some of the Cowboy Bebop tracks, like What Planet Is This? As it is, the new track gives your average stealth heists a chance for a little bit more oral latitude. This DLC was overall just about par. The concept for the heists were solid, but I'm not sure if they were well executed to the best of the game's current ability to do so. Just a little bit of rebalancing would fix that for the loud heists, and for the stealth heist, well, whole new stealth system would probably be in order. The new Sniper is a slightly different spin on familiar guns and was pretty fun. The tracks were certainly out of each musician's comfort zone, and that worked out both really well and a little poorly. And the masks were strange but serviceable. The John Wick Heist DLC does feel somewhat drip-fed when paired with the weapon pack, and the playtime for these heists themselves is pretty short. Others have said it, and I'll agree, the tipping point of this pack is whether or not you like the stealth in Payday or not. If you do, the boat heist is going to push it over the top. If not, the fact is that a lot of the other content in the pack is very similar to stuff that's already in the game. For me, despite the fun new Sniper and more heist content, the John Wick Heist pack is going to be in the get it on sale box. Maybe with a little bit of rebalancing, I could come back in a month and render a different verdict. But for now, I'll have to put my foot down. I'll see you guys next time for, inevitably, the next DLC.
Hey, let me get my gayest gun out.
Gayest gun.
I don't know what my gayest gun is, but
The Walt for PP.
Well, it has to be specifically a skin. And I'll play as Sokol because he might actually be gay. I mean, like, his voice lines and also just the fact that he is a pretty boy underwear model.
Yeah, he's a pretty cute. Wait, there's actually there's like tons. There's an artist on Tumblr who made a shit ton of like absurdly gay fan art of Dallas and Sokol.
Really?
Yeah, like underwear
of super gay fan art for Dallas and.
Yeah, I'll go find it. Give me a second.
I'm elemental now.
And one more thing, the heist needs to be something super gay.
Oh, okay. What's the gayest heist?
The gayest heist. Yacht heist on
One down.
Yacht heist on Very Hard specifically.
Yeah, very hard, of course. Duh. Shit, I forgot.
Yes, perfect. There's so many layers to this joke.
I'm really fucking searching for this gay fan art. Like, I'm going.